Hi guys, welcome back. Today we have a frequently asked questions about makeup video. Basically this video will just be me answering some questions that I get asked on pretty much a daily basis. I do work at the benefit counter in the city of Perth and I am a makeup artist, so between my friends asking me questions, people that I interact with on the internet asking me questions, and my customers and clients asking me questions, I have a list of things in my book here, my little notebook, and I will be answering them for you. This will be a two-part video. I do have quite a lot of questions, so I'm just going to film down to a certain area. It is getting late, so I'm going to film the other half tomorrow, but until then, enjoy the first half of my frequently asked questions video. Do I need to use a foundation brush to apply my foundation? And the answer to that is it's all up to personal preference. So no, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. And there are a couple of reasons why it is good to use a foundation brush. It is more hygienic than using your hands, particularly if you are putting foundation on someone else as well. It can create different kind of finishes, so you can get a heavier or lighter finish with a foundation brush depending on which brush you're using and how you're using it. So try out what it's like with your hands, what it's like with one foundation brush, what it's like with another foundation brush, what it's like with a sponge, beauty blender, anything like that, and you'll end up finding which one you prefer to use. And different foundations look better using a different method of application anyway. Like for my BB creams, I always like to use my fingers for them. I find they blend in a little bit better, but for my Bourjois Healthy Mix, I prefer to use my Real Techniques buffing brush. So it just depends. Try out different ways and you'll find the way that you prefer, and then the way that you prefer is the way that you should do it. What are the different coverages of foundation? So basically you've got generally three types of foundation, but then you can get sort of crossovers between them. You have light foundation, medium coverage foundation, and full coverage foundation. Basically it refers to how much of your own skin is going to show. That's how I like to look at it. So with a light coverage, you're going to have some coverage, you might cover up the redness, but if you've got like freckles, you're still going to see that you have freckles. It's not going to mask them, it's going to just sort of even out your skin tone. So it's not going to be really covering anything you have, be it blemish or redness or anything like that. It's not going to get covered, it's just going to be evened out slightly. So then you've got medium coverage where you're going to have more ability to mask your redness or blemishes or even freckles and things like that. So they're going to be a little bit more concealed, but you're still going to see some of that. And if you've just got one or two blemishes, you can cover them with concealer. You can also get medium buildable coverage where you might take one coat of the foundation all over the face, and then if you get really quite a lot of redness around the cheeks, you might put another bit of that foundation onto your cheeks. Then you've got full coverage, which to me pretty much cover everything on your face. You're not going to see any of your own skin underneath that. Some people might find it too much. I tend to wear this kind of thing if I'm going out or sometimes at work, because we have quite harsh lights and you can see every little bit of a blemish or whatever impurities that you have from those lights, so a full coverage often works well. These ones often act like a concealer, foundation and powder all in one. A lot of stick foundations tend to be full coverage. Can I cover my wrinkles? You can't really cover your wrinkles. Unfortunately, that is a part of getting older. There's nothing that you can really do bar actually going and getting cosmetic surgery and things like that, but you can do some things to help the application of your makeup not enhance the look of wrinkles. So things like pore filling products like the Professional Primer, anything that's kind of silicone based. Picking the foundation that works for you that doesn't show them up. So for some people that is a full coverage foundation. Sometimes it's a trick of not setting the area that you have the most wrinkles with powder, because sometimes that can create it to sort of stick in those wrinkles, so when you change your facial expressions you can sort of see where the wrinkles are. I think a really important thing is just seeing what works. Sometimes halving your face and and trying one side one way and the other side another way, and then seeing throughout the day which one works better for you is a really good way of doing that. How do I apply lipstick when I have really dry, chapped lips? So this isn't so much a question that I get asked, but it's a something that I encounter when I do full makeups, is that some people come in with very, very, very chapped lips, and it can ruin the way that lipstick looks. Basically, if you go out and you get a lip scrub, Lush have really nice lip scrubs. You don't want something like that. I would buy or if you've got your toothbrush even, but I would go out and I'd buy like a baby's toothbrush, so the bristles are smaller and very, very soft. And I just put some warm water on that and then just sort of brush it over your lips. It'll take away any dead skin, and then afterwards put on either a very nourishing lip balm or pawpaw. Before I even start someone's makeup I'll always try and put something that's going to moisturize them. So there's been days at work where I haven't brought my pawpaw, so I'll use like an eye cream. So I just sort of, whatever you've got handy that's going to help. Otherwise lipstick does look sort of dry. The other thing is it depends on which lipsticks you're using. So something that's extra moisturizing like the Revlon lip butters, or something that has that extra bit of moisture. If you're putting a matte lipstick onto already dry lips, it's just going to enhance the dryness. How do I make my lips appear fuller? One way that you can do that is if you get a darker lip liner, only slightly darker than the lipstick that you intend to wear, and line the edges a little bit heavier and then very lightly around the middle area. If you can also find a lighter shade of lipstick as well to put in that very middle bit, the lightness being in the middle is going to make that appear fuller, whereas it's going to draw back these bits here only a little bit. You don't want to go too over the top and have them like completely one really light and one really dark. You just want them to be slightly. Another way of doing that as well is putting a little bit of highlight on the very middle of the lips. It's just going to plump them up a little bit. Or you can just put a little bit extra gloss, or only put gloss just in the middle. Something you can also do to enhance the Cupid's bow, which will also make your lips appear more plump and more full, is use a little bit of a highlight on them as well. What type of liner should I use? So there are three main types of liner. We've got gel, liquid and pencil. It all depends on what look you want to do. For instance, what I've got on at the moment on my waterline is a pencil, and it's a waterproof kohl pencil. I really like them for lining the waterline, particularly nice creamy pencils. Dry ones I find don't work as well. For a cat eye, liquid liner is such a good way to get that really sharp look, really defined. That's generally what I like to use liquid liner for, but I don't use that for anything else. I don't use it for on any of the lower lash line or lower waterline. I don't use it for my top waterline. I only use liquid liner to create that cat's eye. I absolutely love gel eyeliner because I find I can do everything with it. I can use it on my waterline, I can use it on my lower lash line, I can use it to create a cat eye flick. It is, in my opinion, the easiest one to use because you can get brushes like this one here, which is a fine liner brush, or even angled brushes like this. My next question is, what's the best way to use a liquid liner? And I find it's all in how you position your face to the mirror. So for example, I'm just going to grab my mirror here. I hope it doesn't like shine at you or anything like that. But I find if you get a flippy one like this or a handheld one, they're the best way to do it. And if you hold it, tilt your head back and hold it down, you can keep your eyes open while you put your liner on. So I can't find my liquid liner at the moment, but if I just do, this is an example, similar things, just like a longer handle than what you generally get with the liquid liner, but that's generally what they look like. So if I hold it there, I can directly press this against my lash line and I can just draw that across, and you'll be able to create that line. Obviously it'll take a bit of practice until you can get it to that stage, but generally that is what I found the best way to be putting liquid liner on yourself. If my mascara starts to dry out, can I add water to loosen the formula? No, you can't. that's a really dangerous thing to do actually. By adding water you can help feed bacteria and it can grow, and if it gets into your eyes you can get eye infections, some of which that can even cause blindness, which obviously is something that no one wants. If it's dried out, it's basically telling you that it needs to be replaced. Which actually leads me on to my next question, which is what is the lifespan of a mascara? Cosmetic companies will say 3 months. I personally think that you can get to 6 months without it becoming an issue, so long as it hasn't dried out. So as long as you're keeping the lid nicely tightly closed, you're not sharing your mascara with anyone else, even if it's your mum or your sibling or something like that. Don't share your mascara with anyone else, because if you're getting their bacteria into your mascara tube and then putting it onto your eyes, it may have something in it that does not work with you, and then you can get sick or an eye infection, and again it could lead to blindness. So I'd keep your own mascaras to yourself. Make sure you close the lid, and don't, like, this one's almost at its end of its lifeline, so I'll do this as an example, but don't go like this where you kind of push it in and out, because you're pushing air into it, and also air is another thing that can help breed that bacteria. So once you've pulled it out, try and do both of your eyes in one go. But generally I think once you've got to 6 months, it's probably time to get a new mascara, and if it's something you use every day, you're probably only going to get 5 months out of it anyway. Can I make my teeth appear whiter with lipsticks that I use? Yes, you can. Sorry guys, the camera cut out because the batteries died, so I had to switch them over. So I'm hoping I'm still in focus, and I have a feeling my background may have moved slightly. People obviously do want their teeth to appear whiter than they are, so there are things you can do with your lipsticks to create a slight more elliptical illusion type thing that your teeth are whiter than they are. And to do that, basically you just have to choose a blue based lipstick, and this works the best with red lipsticks. So if you pick a blue based red lipstick, those types of lipsticks will enhance the colour of your teeth. You can also get blue lipsticks that will also help make your teeth appear whiter, and that doesn't matter what colour lipstick or anything you're wearing, you just put it over the top. Why should I be using primer? This one I get asked a lot, and to be perfectly honest, it was something that I asked sort of when I was first introduced into the world of makeup, because for a very, very long time I didn't wear primer at all. And that was because I have sort of dry combination skin, so I find that foundation lasts quite well on me. So it's like normal dry combination. Yeah, I find that foundation generally lasts quite a while on me. So it's only just in the last few years that I actually realised that primer actually does more than just increase the longevity of your foundation. So I said already that I have sort of dry skin, so my favourite type of primers are the ones that add a little bit extra moisture. It just means that my foundation goes on a lot smoother, a lot nicer. It doesn't go dry sort of in the cheek area in wintertime, which is something that I definitely have an issue with. There are other things that primers do, like pore filling, like the Porefessional from Benefit is absolutely amazing. It does help your foundation last longer, so if you're having an issue with that as well, it works for that, but it also makes your foundation go on so nicely over open pores or fine lines or anything like that. There are ones that increase brightness, ones that help for photo taking, like the Photo Ready one from Revlon. There's colour correcting ones like the ones from Stila. There's basically going to be one that does exactly what you need for your type of skin. So I'll see you guys in the next installment of my frequently asked makeup questions, and until then I hope you all have fantastic days, and I'll see you later. Bye!